friend. Hello, are you lonely? Come to my home. Are you coming home? Come to my home. Are you coming home? Rocking the wire, people loving, walking on the wire. With a great ball of fire, perfect deep for hugging. It's a day for love. I will set you free with my music key. I will set you free. I'll set you free. I will set you free with my music key. I will set you free from your misery. It's the day. It's the day. It's the day.
Can you tell me, do you enjoy coming to the group?
Yes.
What do you enjoy about it?
I enjoy walking round the ponds.
Do you enjoy coming to the group?
I do.
What do you like about the group?
Everybody is loving and
Good.
everyone with a good smile, make you feel happy.
Good.
Yes, I like coming out because people here start talking to each other.
Good. Do you feel better when you've been here?
Well, yeah, because we have a little laugh with it.
Do you enjoy coming to the group?
Yes, I do.
What is it you enjoy?
I enjoy coming to talk to people.
Good.
I like walking. I love walking because I've got the scooter and I don't do. This makes me walk. I have to walk around.
Especially today.
I'm meeting everybody. Playing cards.
Yes,
Yeah.
Sometimes the people that we are dealing with, they would say to the clients, "Get on and do this. You must do that. You must do that. You should sit there, and that really put you out. It makes you feel not free to think or do anything. Just being a robot." It did make a difference because some of them, they'd come in and they just want to sit down, and not speak to anybody, and then gradually as it went along, we'd encourage them to come and join in what's happening, and they get involved, and it's good.
yeah, and
do you find the difference or the benefits are between playing and then playing and coaching?
Well, when you coach, you look for the best players and look for the not so good players, so you can get a view of the different abilities of different types of players.
Do you find that you prefer coaching or you prefer playing?
I prefer playing, but coaching is good. It's a good skill to have, coaching. I have a level 1, FA level 1 in coaching in football. So yeah.
Brilliant. And do you think you'd be interested in going forward with that further and maybe doing your level 2?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. So Claire, tell us what you think about the multi-sport sessions.
I think it's very good because it gives chance for people to try different things like cricket or badminton or tennis or things like that, and I find it very beneficial to do these things, and people really enjoy it. I actually went to see the Manchester Giants once and it was absolutely fantastic.
Did that inspire you to want to play?
Yeah, I play, yes.
So actually watching your heroes and watching sport you enjoy kind of encourages you want to have a go at it.
Who's that?
So how much exercise do you do?
I walk every day.
Right.
So it varies. I have arthritis. That's one of the things I hadn't mentioned to your colleague. And I find walking, I do what I can.
Yeah.
I do what I can, but it's not as much as I used to.
So.
And I have a replacement knee.
Yeah.
So
is that better?
It's better than it was.
Yeah.
That was very bad. But I can't walk as I used to on it. I can't walk the distance, which is a shame. If I was to be honest, I eat a healthy-ish diet. I just eat too much of it. I'm a greedy man. It's not it's not a lack of knowledge. It's an inclination. I like my food. I enjoy it, and I like a lot of it.
So, how about having a smaller plate?
I try that.
Because I've seen research in other countries that say if you give people a big plate, they eat more. If you give them a little plate, they don't eat so much.
I have actually heard that, and it's probably a good.
Depression and loneliness and things like that, and various illnesses. It's not just one thing that I've got wrong with me, sort of thing.
And is it the illnesses that make you depressed, or
a bit of everything?
Bit of everything.
Yes.
When you see the doctors here for your physical illnesses, do they talk about your mind at all?
I've kept away from the depression because I had a period when they were giving me tablets which made me zonk me out. Really do know what I should be doing, being positive, that sort of.
I don't know anybody who doesn't know what they ought to do, but lots of people don't do it, and the question is, how could we help that?
Well, that's it really. there are things like I'm making more activities for myself, like walking. You know, I've got a bike now, so I'm going to start riding a bike.
They need to know that they're valued in society, and they need to know that people care, and they need the right support, you know, either in the community or in hospital.
How could we get them to feel that people cared about them?
Well, not beating them up, taking off their benefits, and not making them feel like they're what's the word, a burden on society. You know, it's about finding out exactly what they really need rather than what we think they need. So, you know, and that's by having conversations with them. We need to, you know, provide more places in the community to support them. I'm not convinced that being in hospital is the right place for them, but I think some of the work that's done in the community with them is more effective. Obviously on the acute side, you've got to go into hospital, but, you know, that and enabling and empowering people, isn't it? Yeah.
Hi, my name is Hamid Khan and I am one of the volunteers and Vice Chairperson for Shining Stars Community Group. Shining Stars Community Group offers health and wellbeing activities to our local community, people from different backgrounds. Particularly we are focusing at the moment on South Asian and BME communities as they are underrepresented in accessing health and wellbeing services. It's a pleasure to have the opportunity to speak to some of our members who will give an insight into what health means to them and what they do to keep healthy and what Shining Stars Community Group can do to increase the level of activities for improving people's health and well-being in the local community.
Hello Hamid, I am Mrs. Ibrahim. I am part of the community group.
Hi, I'm Zoe Iqbal from Manchester. The word health, I think of two things. I think of things like how are you in yourself and how you're feeling in yourself, and I also think of your physical self, you know, physical ailments, your body, colds, illnesses and stuff like that.
That health to make is a fit self, you know, then is a take his exercise different and like this and make his happy self.
I think drinking water is a massive start. I'm kind of used to water over fizzy drinks. I don't drink that many fizzy drinks. I try and have a bit of fruit every day. You can get it cheap from the market. I go running, not enough, but sometimes I do go running. But that's not necessarily just to keep fit, it's because I like seeing the trees and running by lakes, and I think it's good for the mind as well.
I am working, I am cooking, everything doing, I am attend the meeting, I am do it allotment, there is grows vegetable, different, and I am happy with my allotment.
Regarding kind of mental health, because I think that's quite important, if I notice certain things would trigger me to feel a bit low or something, I just learn to recognise that and just help myself really, and I've had a bit of Reiki done as well.
I help my group. I tell them the exercise, don't use the fat, light food and healthy food and walk.
So could you please tell me a little bit about how we've gone from the young Kira the cyclist on stabilisers all the way up to the 3-time gold medalist? How do you think the professionals have helped you as you've grown up?
Oh, it's made me more wiser. I started off with a dietitian an osteopath, and I had to speak to them out language because I struggled with my speech. Also, with the physical side of the cyclist, I've had a personal trainer who helped me focus on my core because I have problems with dyspraxia, which struggle with balance and stuff, so work on that. And I also went to university to help me get stronger. With bullying and stuff like that. So obviously I went to a bad place, and I tried to go to camps to see if they could make me get out that bad place, which unfortunately they didn't. So I used my parents and my family and friends to help me get out of it.
So you've got people involved in your life that help you to do what you do. What's the role of a PA?
A role of PA allows me to do what I do. So I struggle with time, which some people can help me with, money as well, and personal care. But also learning about the world, shopping even transport, you know, simple things that we take for granted every day. You know, I needed to learn that so then I could do things I do. You can choose people who are good influences on you, and also you can be like, well, I need these people to help me with certain things, and then I can go from there to my personal trainer Jane, who helps me be the true me that I am, and just, you know, making sure that everything's okay, because when you're with somebody who you know for a long time, you know, you're not scared, you know, to go to a place. The aims of the ACOOH project is to make people more aware about disabilities in sport, and also an insight in our daily routines.
So we wanted to bring back and kind of teach young people about how she's done what she's done, and that it is a journey, and it's not just a case of you go on a bike and then you win 3 gold medals. And through the ACOOH projects, that's her opportunity to educate people of how to live a healthy and active lifestyle, but done through the journey that she's had.
Put your mind to it. Yes, you know, it might take a little bit longer than everybody else, but we'll get there in the end. So, you know, I don't want it just to be me, because I know that other people will be out there and know they do.
We're here at Manchester Royal Infirmary. What we're going to be doing, we're going in to interview a Dr. David Evans, who has an interest in social care within the community.
So what we're really interested in is focusing on the neighbourhoods and local communities in Manchester. And what we're really interested in is what matters to the people in those communities, not just what's the matter with them from a health perspective.
I'm off into the community to speak to Neville, an elderly resident that receives care from both the NHS as well as voluntary home care visits. So, as you know, we're at Neville's and we've got Michelle here. She's part of the home care team. When you come here, Michelle, what do you actually do for Neville?
We clean, ironing, whatever he wants doing, see if his medication's fine, everything else, and sit and have a chat. We phone the doctors and like order prescriptions and stuff like that, and go and pick them up and fetch them back.
Doctor says it's the arthritis. No, with the diabetes, no, that is the one that's killing me. I can't move. You know, the knees are not too bad. But walk with a stick.
Yeah.
But the knees, them now. And the legs, them the circulation down there.
So what are you doing? Have you taken tablets for your diabetes?
Oh yeah, I got my insulin there and everything.
Yeah, he has an injection.
Does it?
Yeah.
Another resident just around the corner is Janet. Janet receives visits on a daily basis from the home care team. She also relies heavily on her scooter for daily mobility. Do you actually have anybody comes round like, you know, like you've got...
Them carers come.
Pardon?
You know
Them who work for Tony.
Oh, from the community
Yeah,
centre?
they come now.
Right, and how often do they come and help you?
Every day.
Every day, right.
Good company.
Right.
Really awkward, I've got a limp. I don't like limping, but I can't do anything else.
Right.
I had a stroke 5 years back. Don't know if you know, I had an aneurysm on my brain.
Right, okay, yeah.
Took it out, put 7 clips in my head. When I had an operation, I had a massive heart attack and a stroke as well. What I've got to do, I had to get on with myself. I had to get myself right, because all the person really was me and dogs.
Right. Was there nobody to help you?
No.
No? No. Right. And how did that sort of affect your sort of just day-to-day living?
Bit upset, but I've got to go. I've got to carry on. I've got to carry on. I've got to have life.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, I've got to have life.
Last but not least, we're visiting Arthur, who is housebound, and without the home care visits would find daily life very difficult.
Well, I think for a start, when I went to the doctors one time, a few years back, I went I asked for a second opinion about a brain scan. And I said to my doctor, let me know the results. But I never got a proper answer. Now the way she answered me was in a very silly way. I don't think there is anything wrong with you, with your brain. That is not an answer. So then I had to switch to a different doctor.
Right. Because of that, you went elsewhere. Did you?
She went away on holiday. Then I had to see another doctor, and I haven't seen her since.
What we're trying to do is understand who lives in those communities that we support and work, and who are supporting some of the most vulnerable people in our communities as they're getting older or as they have more needs to support them. So there are people like Adette Taylor, who is an active case manager, who works in the Ardwick area, and she will be working in and out of houses, and the more she can connect to people in those communities that are supporting them, the better she can help individual patients like Neville to make sure we do what's important to him. So, for example, we know that we will focus absolutely on making sure medically that he's getting what he needs, making sure that the therapy he gets is right, that any medication he needs, and any problems he's got we can fix. But at the same time, what we know might be important for an individual is something that's nothing to do with that. It's actually maybe the way he looks. He wants to have an iron that helps him to look sharp, even if he's not feeling very well. And so we can't always respond to that, but the more we can know about teams and people in those communities, we can find ways to solve it for that patient. It might get them that iron that helps them to do what is most important, the things that matter, rather than just managing their illness. And so it was really exciting for when I heard about the work that Coverdale are doing, because it sounded to me that they live in that community, they're going into the houses of the people and looking after their neighbours, their friends, in a way that we're used to in the past but have perhaps lost. And what Adette and myself wanted to do was learn more about what they're doing and how we might be able to help and support.
Yeah, my name is Melanie, and I'm an activist in the community of Miles Plating, and I have been since 2006. I actually started developing project in this area because as an immigrant I arrived here and I felt very isolated and deprived, and all the time there was no activity for kids, no activity for myself, and I sort of gathered a group of women with whom we started teaching children French and getting together, playing handball and doing a bit of cookery classes. In about 2008, there was a project called from the Joint Health Unit called Manchester Food Future, in which we got involved thinking about actually improving access to good food in the area. Through that project, we got involved with the Adapters Housing, the local housing association, who actually raised funding to actually build this lovely community garden. How much do you spend roughly on your food?
Expenses for a week, I can say so 200 or over.
Would you consider learning about recipes, simple recipes from Britain that are just...
I don't know. I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I roughly spend about £50 because there's only two of us. But I do a list of what I want before I go shopping, instead of going with nothing. Because if you go in there without a list, and you're just going to put anything in your basket, anything.
Shopping.
Well, my food shopping was always roughly about £100 because I've got
a month or
a week because I had the children.
How many children did you?
Three children. So I had 2 boys and a girl, and they ate a lot. The boys.
Yeah.
They did.
So your food budget a week was £100.
Yes. Yes.
And did you have like set of menu that you cooked in the house, or did you?
Yeah, old school food like corned beef hash, chilies, curries, plenty of curries because my kids like spicy foods, and hot pots.
Okay. Daily basis.
Yes.
You had a plan for what you
always have a plan what you're eating, and then you don't go over your budget.
Okay.
You see, write it down what you want to go shopping for.
Okay.
That's how I used to do it.
Yeah.
Because with us being on such a low wage, and then obviously I was on child benefit and that. You've got a budget because you don't get half as much money as what you get as now what I'm working, but I still budget even though it's just me and Steve.
Okay, so
it was my mum who taught me how to budget. She brought 5 of us up on her own.
Okay.
So you've got to learn.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, Sharon.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Project that I'm working on at the moment is based in North Manchester, and it's all around diabetes and eye health. So does anyone around this table have diabetes themselves or know someone that has diabetes?
I have diabetes.
So basically pretty much everyone around the table has some kind of connection with diabetes.
Laura is asking, does the insulin what you take cures diabetes? What do you think?
Right,
Urdu mein, right? Amir, do you want to say in Urdu, please?
इंजेक्शन नहीं ले आप डायबिटीज
लौरा कह रही है कि क्या इंसुलिन जो है वो डायबिटीज को स्टॉप करती है, शुगर को स्टॉप करती है, ये सच है या गलत है, ये ठीक है या गलत है?
गलत भी है I think it controls.
You are correct. It's false. Diabetes cannot cure.
Not cure.
Diabetes.
Yes. Nothing cures diabetes.
I have the borderline diabetes. Doctors say you have after 10 years maybe you have a diabetes. So if you control now, so I have nothing to take any medicine at the moment. So I have only food control and exercise and walking.
People with diabetes can't eat grapes, mangoes, or bananas.
It is false because there is, you know,
Exactly.
Just natural food, but
Right, okay.
diabetes. I don't eat mangoes, but rest of the fruits I eat.
A lot of people think because grapes, mangoes and bananas are really sweet and they have natural sugars in them that you can't eat them, but it is false. You can eat mangoes, grapes and bananas. Okay, so one last question, and this is the most important question for me. True or false, you should get your eyes checked annually by the optician, as well as having your diabetic retinopathy screening as well, annually.
True.
Amir, do you want to repeat that question in Urdu for me, please?
please.
आपकी लॉरा पूछ रही है क्या ये सच है या गलत है कि अपना जब भी अपनी
जिसको डायबिटीज हो,
जिसको डायबिटीज हो वो आंखें टेस्ट करवाते हैं या रेटिनोपैथी करते हैं, वो आई की स्क्रीनिंग करते हैं, वो ख़ास किस्म को जो टेस्ट होता है। जिन लोगों को शुगर है उन लोगों को पता होगा कि ये टेस्ट क्या होता है, क्या ये गलत है या ठीक है।
To try and get GP practices to use these folders.
Yeah.
So they're Living Well with Diabetes folders, and they're supposed to help people keep on top of their appointments.
Yeah.
So inside the folder you've got your name, your NHS number.
Yeah.
You've got dates for all your different health checks, because with diabetes there are a lot of different health checks. So you can record your HbA1c levels and your target, same with your blood pressure, your cholesterol, your weight and your BMI. It also has an action plan in there, so if there's any goals that anyone wants to reach, for example, staying active, keeping on top of your medications, cutting down on smoking, eating and drinking more healthily. And then you've also got your eye photo appointments, so what year you had them, the date, and then you can write down your personal comments, or you can get the ophthalmologist to write down their comments, so you've got something written down for yourself as well, which is always handy.
Yeah.
And they've got the same with the foot checks, and then the last page is a useful contacts.
Useful contacts, yeah.
And that's the folder.
Thank you.
Oh,
they've got the same sort of book which is called a blue book, My Diabetes. The topic of the book is My Diabetes. They've got the same sort of information there.
So
it's for your kids.
Is that
I don't know whether they've got it, I've got it.
Is that information useful? Do you use it?
It is very useful, yeah.
Right, Laura. No. Thank you so very much. I really appreciate. And Laura.
Thank you very much.
Are we going to say thank you to Laura?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So Self-Help is a user-led mental health charity. We currently have around 130 staff and approximately 80 volunteers.
Self-Help really works really hard to provide like first-class services around mental health, which are really innovative and are really empowering to people, sort of helping people to help themselves.
We have psychological services ranging from e-therapy, counselling, one-to-one support, right through to our more community-based services such as our drop-in groups and our peer-to-peer project.
Well, I got into the job that I do because I'm actually a user of services and found that the help that I received from Self-Help just absolutely incredible. It changed my life. I started volunteering with the organisation, I started facilitating groups, and I used my lived experience to support other people. So we have a number of peer-led services, so what I'm involved in is the drop-in groups, of which there are 8 across Manchester and Trafford. And what the service provides is it's kind of a unique space for people to just turn up, talk about their experiences, share coping strategies, and meet and talk with people who have the same experiences as themselves.
One-to-one peer support is a service whereby we have a team of peer mentors who've got lived experience of mental health difficulties, and they're on hand to provide emotional support, social contact, recovery advice, or even signposting people to other services and support agencies for support around mental health difficulties such as anxiety, depression, panic attacks and low mood.
The peer-to-peer service is aimed at anyone with low mood, anxiety, depression, anyone with common mental health issues.
I ended up on a course and I got so much from the course and learnt so much that I thought it would be good for me to put that into practice, into volunteering. I really do enjoy both roles. It's really what I was built for, I think.
E-therapy is online CBT, essentially. It's learning the cognitive behavioural therapy toolkit via interactive modules on websites called Silver Cloud, Sleepio. We used to use Beating the Blues, Living Life to the Full as well. And it's essentially a really good way for people to kind of access services, get the support, learn the toolkit. And in e-therapy they do it online. So some people prefer to do that all at home, so they might kind of do the modules at their own pace, on their own time, after work, or when the kids have gone to bed, and then we might phone them for half an hour a week to support them through it. That's kind of what our role is for. And then obviously they can come to venues as well in the local area, so community places like the Zion Centre, the Energise Centre in Salford, Altrincham Library, Didsbury Library, and they can kind of come along, do the sessions on laptops and computers we provide, and we'd kind of talk to them, and our volunteers would talk to them as well. And people can access the service via giving us a ring. We'll send them a self-referral form, which they can post back, email back, or they can obviously go to their GP. We get some referrals from social workers as well. So, but primarily it's GP and self-referral.
So people trying to access mental health services face a number of barriers really, which are out there in society, and these can be economic, for one thing. People in more deprived areas find it hard to get the services that they need. It can be things like ethnicity and language barriers. It could be sexuality, a range of kind of demographic things like that. And then just down to other things like the right services not being in the right place at the right time. Self-help really works to address those, to really to reach out to people and to positively include people who really need the help, and to be in the right places at the right time.
Here at Self-Help we're committed to making sure that everybody who needs it gets the help that they need, whether it's from crisis support from one of our sanctuaries, right through to more community and peer-based services. What we also like to focus on is making sure that people who have that lived experience are valued and can use their experience to support others. This is exampled in things like our peer-to-peer service and our drop-in groups, and we hope then what we do is empower people to make positive changes and improve their mental health.
How are you?
You're good.
I'm fine.
Okay. I would just ask you some questions about health.
Okay, welcome.
Okay. So, from your own experience, what do you think about the healthcare in Manchester?
Okay, can I answer in Arabic?
Yes, of course you can.
Okay, thank you. لما جيت للمملكة لقيت التسجيل سهل انك تسجل. ساعدتني المكتب هنا، ساعدني عبالي الفايل وكل شيء عشان اسجل بالجي بي، واخذت موعد وكان الموعد كمان سهل اني اخذ.
Good point. Can I ask you how many GPs or doctor have you seen?
Just one GP in the Dresden. In Dresden, I think just one doctor, because every time same doctor I go to him.
Okay. Have you tried to go to a different GP?
No, I don't, because when I asked my friend, they told me same trouble.
Okay. Okay. Do you think that organizations like this can help you with making your way to the health system easier?
أنا لما جيت أول ما جيت بدي أسجل أعطوني أوراق في الجي بي ما بعرف أعبيها أو أمليها، قالوا لي عبيها أنا ما بعرف، فجيت على المؤسسة هذه عبوا لي الفايل كلها حتى تبع دكتور الأسنان عبوا لي إياه وبعته، بدونهم ما كنت حقدر أبدأ. النقطة الثانية لما كنت بسألهم إنه أنا ما في فائدة من المكان هذا، هم ممكن يوجهوني للدكتور اختصاصي هنا يساعدوني إنه ممكن يلاقوا دكتور، لكن إمكانيات المادية ما تخليني إني نحول عليه. فممكن إذا هم يساعدوا إنه مثلا يكون عندهم يعني يكون عندهم إمكانية يبعثونا هم للمكان المحدد ممكن نستفيد أكثر.
Okay, just the last question. In your opinion, do you think the health system here is better than the health system in your country?
Not more than. يعني سوريا بوضعها حد الآن ممكن يكون الصحة العامة ما نتكلم، أنا ممكن أروح هناك أدفع للدكتور لكن عندي إمكانية أدفع له. يعني هناك الدكاترة مش غاليين، الدكتور الاختصاصي مش غالي. ممكن مستشفيات الحكومة تكون هنا أفضل، كحكومة هنا أفضل المستشفيات الحكومية، لكن هناك ممكن تروح على دكتور خاص بمبالغ زهيدة. هنا الدكتور الخاص غالي جدا ما نقدر نمشي له، فما عم بستفيد. مشان هيك بعتقد لا ببلدي أفضل إنه فيني أروح على دكتور خاص، هنا ما فيني لأنه غالي جدا، فمقارنة صعبة.
Okay, Mr. Mazin, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr.
And for sharing your experience with us. Have a good day.